Hey, how's it going? So, very quick update on dual queue. So I'm playing with GreatKhan, right? So he's a very good Draven player, like the best I've seen. I played one. He actually beat me one-on-one a couple of times, because I didn't really know how to play against Draven, who is that good. Do you know what I mean? So I had to change my strategy a little bit. I'm not gonna talk about it in this video, but I have a solution to it so far. Anyway, so I'd say we have 100% win rate with him to date, and I'll explain to you why. Right? So this game here, we trolled because we went into a single lane together, bot lane, and I already made a video. You should never ever go into one lane, because what ends up happening, you win your lane and then all other lanes become useless and then you lose the game, right? You should always have two lanes, right? So this game, you can kind of say we broke the golden rule of dual queue and we got punished for it, so we can kind of cancel this game. Alright, so everything else is win. Okay, so this game, you need, if you have some shite like Nasus in jungle, okay, and then this guy here, I had a bad feeling about him. Like, this game should have been dodged. So the golden rule of dual queue, if you have a very bad feeling, right, and it just doesn't look right, you need to dodge, and I didn't, so I got punished for it, right? So in here the problem is this guy Alawi is a top laner, and I asked him, you know, can I go top lane? He said yeah. Then he picked Alawi, and I was like, oh shit. Alawi overall, she's a lane bully, but overall, unless your team plays around you, unless you have an advantage, she's not a good champ, right? Because she's basically one button champion, which is press R, right? And if she's behind, like, she can get caught very easily, right? If she's behind, and that's what's been happening. Is that, first of all, she lost the lane to Jarvis or Jarvan or whatever his name is, right? And I don't know what the hell he was doing. Now that's one of the problems. Second problem we had Nasus jungle, which was absolute nightmare, because what happened was basically bot lane became a clown fiesta where GreatKhan basically had 3 or 4 people in his lane all the time, because Nasus needs to farm. Master Yi is a killer of bot lane when you think about it, right? Because their lane is so squishy, they don't have a tank, right? Master Yi is gonna invade all the time bot lane. He's gonna be there, and I saw him on the map. Just he was like always there. He was all the time bot lane. He ganked me one time, which was level 2 after the clear. That's it, and then he never showed up top lane ever. Right? And then, like, naturally, Kale is a shitty pick into Tryndamere, and then she went mid. That means there's now Jarvan bot lane. And I even, like, you see, the problem was that he had 4 people bot lane all the time, and I just could not push fast enough, and we had nothing in the middle and nothing in the jungle to punish this type of behavior, right? And I just could not outpush 4 people, basically, unfortunately. Because, think about it, like, for me to take down turrets, now I can do it quite fast, but I mean, they can rotate. It basically became, the problem in here was mid lane and jungle allowed this lane to get pooped on. Because there was like 3 or 4 people all the time, and they could not punish it, right? So what ended up happening, we ended up having 1 winning lane, and that's it. And you cannot win a game of 1 winning lane, right? But we got, I don't remember, we didn't get too close to winning. Yeah, we didn't get close. So this one should have been a dodge. This one should have been a dodge. I should have dodged this game. Like, I had a bad feeling. If you have Nasus jungle, overall, I'd say just dodge. Why? Because Nasus becomes only effective after like 65 minutes of the game, right? When he gets his 6 items, he gets his 2000 stacks. Games just don't last that long. What's gonna happen is, while this guy is farming, their jungler can't camp any lane. What happened in bot lane could have happened to me. Like, Master, you could have easily just went top, took Rift Herald, brought it top, and they could have just camped me top lane, right? So I could have been useless. And again, because Nasus, I don't know what he was doing, and this guy would have lost. Now he would have won. I would have been pooped on by Master Yi and Jarvan, whatever, right? So you see, either way you put it, you only have one winning lane. And that comes because Nasus jungle, very bad pick. Very, very bad pick. Yeah, so that should have been a dodge. Like, I had a feeling I should have dodged that, right? Okay, so these ones, I would say, again, this is our mistakes, because fundamentally, like, when something is working, you should continue to do it. And do not change a working system. So Khan decided to invite other people, and then naturally performance declined. I don't know whether it's the matchmaking algorithm, because we have different MMR per person got screwed up or something, but he started inviting other people and we got messed up. So I'll show you the kind of the model that you need to use in your life in generally, right? If you're a programmer, you will recognize this model, right? So the technology is called GitHub. It's called Git, right? And it's branching strategies. Branching strategies. Okay? So let's say we have a system. I don't know, let's say, what we're gonna call it? A car, okay? So let's call this a car, which works really well. Okay? No, actually, business model. Let's say business model. Ah, screw it. It will be easier to explain with a car. Okay, car. Alright? So, this car is a working car. There's nothing wrong with it. You're happy about everything in it. Okay? Now, under no circumstances should you start messing with this car. Right? Do not try to upgrade the cooler. Do not try to upgrade the anything, right? Because it is a working car, it works, everything is perfect. Because once you start messing with it, other parts are gonna start falling. Like, it's gonna start you changing the model, right? And then you're gonna start getting unexpected results. Now, what you should do, so do not do that. Do not change that car. What you should do, you should clone the car, right? Buy exactly the same car, and then start messing with it, right? So you mess with this car, right? You mess with it, you make upgrades, you test the upgrades, they work better than this car. Now this is your main car now, after the upgrades, right? If something goes wrong, you know not to do that. Does that make sense? So you always have a working prototype, and the only time you change your main prototype, we call this main, right? So this is main. Let me just put it as black. So this is your main. This is called a branch. Okay, branch, or you can say copy, whatever. You can call it a copy, because branching for some people will be like, ah, what the hell is branching? Like, just think about it as a copy. Okay, so you mess around with the copy, and when copy, after all the tests, is now better than your main, only then you change your branch into the main. So now this becomes your main. Does that make sense? So now this is your main. And then you keep doing it, right? But the fundamental issue, never ever mess with the main strategy. Okay? Because you have a main strategy, you have a business model, you have a relationship, you have dual queue, you have a system that you use that is working. Okay? Do not ever try to mess with it. Make a copy, mess with the copy, like do some, I don't know, experimentation with it. Only when it proves to be better than the main, only then you replace the main with it. Does that make sense? All right? Because some people are just like, yeah, you know, we have a business model, let's go and change that. Dude, like, if the business model is working, under no circumstances should you ever change it. Okay? Now, technology, if you wanna if you wanna know how it works, we do that in development all the time. Actually, I'm gonna show it to you. One sec. Okay, so look, you see, I have well, let's say, just messing around. Okay, so I have a master branch. So master is my main, right? If I want to make like massive changes, I need to create a branch, right? We call it experiment 2. Alright, so you see, now we have master, which is the copy, which is the original, right? And now we have experiment, which is a copy of the master. Now you do your messing around in this copy. Now, only when it proves to be better than the master, you then merge your experiment into master, and your experiment now becomes the master. That's it, okay? So this is basically this stuff here. Okay, so again, why I'm showing you this is because in here, so we have dual queue, right? Dual queue has been working, we haven't been losing, right? And now we introduce changes to our dual queue. What we should have done, we should have swapped to a different account to see if changes that we made were viable, right? And as you can see, they were not that viable. Right, so we got punished for it. We got punished for breaking the golden rule of success. You can call it success. If a system is working, do not mess with the main system. Mess with the copy of the system. And again, we got punished for it, right? So you see, everything that we've done so far, all the losses that we had, were under our control and were as a result of bad decision making, not as a result of engagement optimized matchmaking screwing you over with shitty teammates. Right, so I'm trying to kind of, when I make these videos, I'm trying to see how much, where can we have control over the system, right? Because I mean, solo queue, like I said, it doesn't work. Dual queue, so far, in low MMR, I'm talking below platinum, works. Right, so you can see like we're playing on what? So it's got gold, silver, silver. But I think some of them are like diamond level players, right? Some of them, no, this guy's silver. There used to be a diamond player somewhere here. I think this guy's diamond, right? Yeah, this guy's diamond. This guy's silver. Gold, silver. How did this diamond guy get in here, honestly? I think he got invited. So this guy gold 1. So we're playing around, I'd say we're playing around low gold level. And generally, like, I'm trying to figure out how to have 100% win rate up until gold level. Right? And without you being challenger rank 10 player on the ladder, because that shit takes full-time job, right? I'm talking about where you are a solid player, you win your lane all the time, and you have a dual queue partner who is also a solid player, who also wins his lane all the time. how can we leverage that and create a system where we can win 100% of the time up to, let's say, gold level, right? That's kind of my main objective, right? So, yeah. So far, this is working. Dual queue, like my previous video that I made on like how to achieve 100% win rate. Where's that video? One sec. La la la. Hold on a sec, let me just... Yeah, so it's this video here. 100% win rate solo queue. So solo queue fails. I tried it multiple times. You cannot win with single winning lane. You need hard stomp 2 lanes, and then you're 100% gonna win. Especially if they are solo lanes, because you see, if top and mid hard stomps, your jungle automatically wins. And if your jungle wins objectives, you win, right, by objectives. And if you win by objectives, your bot lane gets carried through objectives. And naturally, ADC scale into late game, so that's it. So all of those rules 100% apply. Okay? So when you start breaking those rules, you're gonna start getting this shite. Okay? So that's what I'm saying, is that factoring in that we made mistakes through bad decision making, we have 100% win rate, because if we were following the rules, we would have won 100% of our games. Does that make sense? Okay, so yeah, so I mean this guide is pretty much viable, right? So just if you want to win 100% of the time up until gold, 2 solid players, that's the way to do it so far. That's the way to do it. Okay, take care.